Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at a pick a card determining how can I show myself greater love. So there will be 3 different piles that you can pick from, 1, 2, or 3. Remember that these have to do with timelines. So timeline 2 is actually going to be the one where it's more stagnant energy, where you're kind of doing the same thing and maybe you know that there's some things that you need to change, but you haven't quite done the work yet to kind of start those things moving forward. Pile 1 then is starting to recognize and take greater risks and make greater changes in your life. And pile 3 is really coming into alignment with your true self and who you are and making greater choices following your highest excitement. So we're going to take a look at pile number 1. And for this energy, what I'm hearing is that there's a great deal of things that has happened in the past that is needing to be released from your energy field. And there were dreams that you had when you were a child that you ultimately wanted to do, and you knew that it was a part of you, how you wanted to connect with people when you were younger. And it was really something that as a child you connected to and felt a great sense of pride and ownership towards. But as time went on, you kind of let go of those dreams and who you truly were and the ability to blossom into your true self because of the energy of those around you, and by having the beliefs that there are a limited number of things that you can do in this life that are going to make you money or are the right things to do, or are the things that everybody is doing by going to college or university and learning. And what this reading is truly showing you is that in order to show yourself more love, that you want to get back to the root of who you are, your childhood dreams, and ultimately look at all of the things that you wished that you could have done in your life and start to figure out how you can do that better. The communication card is showing us a need to really go within and to connect to yourself, to connect to the earth as well, and to look for the signs in order to have that new beginning in your life. Because in order to truly feel at home, to feel at peace, and to build a home and a romantic life for yourself, you want to be connected to your true self, the ultimate version of yourself, without all the pain and sorrow and control of others. And in order to truly step into that energy and liberate yourself, you have to let go of the controlling aspects of others and learn how to, we have white buffalo calf woman reverence. And it's really about understanding who you are and allowing the reverence within yourself, allowing the energies within yourself to truly come up to the surface and show you what the future could look like, to show you what you can become. We have the Sophia card, divine wisdom. What is it that you've been shown that you need to nurture within yourself in order to bring about a greater knowledge and understanding? The water card is always showing us tapping into your true emotions. And then we have the truth card, the true emotions, the truth of who it is that you are, who you want to be. The illusion is letting go of the illusion that you've shown to others, to show yourself more compassion, to truly let go of the beliefs of others guiding you, and to tap into what it is that you truly want to do with your life, what it is that you want to become. And to ultimately understand that you create your own reality. You're the one who drives your life forward, and it is by taking those leaps of faith and moving forward towards what it is that truly makes you excited about life and moving forward wholeheartedly in those ways so that you can truly find the passion that you're looking for, we have on the bottom of the deck the co-creator card. You are ultimately the co-creator of your life. You create your own reality with those around you. And ultimately, by looking at what it is that you truly do want and letting go of the energies of what others thought that you needed to be, you can truly become a more happy, fulfilled, enlightened version of yourself. And then we have Broken Open. And this card is showing us a need to go within, to really let yourself be open to expansion, to greater consciousness and awareness, and to connecting to yourself. A deep breath really is about the sense of meditation, the sense of releasing the resistance around you. When we say quieting your mind, it's really about releasing the resistance that you have to all of the energies around you so that you can welcome in the true things that are going to bring you happiness in your life. And then we see Birds of a Feather. And Birds of a Feather is showing you that the people that you've been surrounding yourself with, the things that you've been surrounding yourself with, are more focused on glitz and glitter and less focused on the internal happiness. And the scene beyond is understanding that there is a greater life, a greater, here we go, beyond the ordinary, as I say, a greater life for you. Once you let go of the beliefs that you've had that others are helping you to create, and really think about what it is that you desire, what is it that you desire to create in your life, then we have the Time Machine. And it really has the meaning of going back and reviewing your destiny, reviewing what it is that you felt passionate about when you were a child, reviewing what it was before anyone told you what you needed to be, what it was that you truly desired to be in your soul, and how can you harness that now? And as I said, what you wanted to be in your soul, we have the Body and Soul card and the Storyteller. You were told stories by others about what it was that you should be, but the truth is that your inner self, your inner muse, was calling you to be a greater version of yourself by what it was that you desired to be. And when you do that, when you tap into your true self, you are waking the lion, so to speak. You are awakening the energies within you that are taking you down your highest timeline and your highest path. Exposed and Revealed is really letting people know your true self, who you truly are and who you want to be now and going forward. And it's really about recognizing that within yourself. Where is it that you've been holding back? Where have you been having conflict between your own creativity and reality? And what is it that you can do to bring those into better alignment? How can you bring your inner creativity to the surface and start to really harness those gifts for yourself and others so that you feel a sense of peace and ease and true grace within yourself? And then we have the Healer. So for those of you resonating with this message, you have powerful healing gifts. Have faith in your abilities. Stay true to your path as a healer. So it's showing you that you can heal yourself. You can go within and recognize that there are a great many things that have happened in your past. But to have courage, you are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. So you can heal yourself by setting boundaries around what you allow others to dictate in your life, the friends that you have. Seek out your soul family, surround yourself with positive people, and spend more time socializing. So it's really talking about, in order to truly find your inner prosperity, I realize you can't see this card over here. It's about a gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. And it's really talking about that you can come into greater abundance within yourself by harnessing your inner gifts. And when you tap into those in their finest form, you will find prosperity within yourself, and you will be able to recognize how you can serve yourself and others, because it's about doing both in order to balance the energies within ourselves and within the universe. We want to call on our inner self and recognize the people around us that can really help us on our journey. That's what this friendship card is also about. It's about finding the people along your path that can really help you, inspire you, guide you, and help you find what it is that you feel has been missing from your life, so that you can find greater awareness and a greater sense of security, truth, and faith within you. Then we have the From Nothing to Everything card. And that kind of goes along with the card that we got on the bottom of the deck, the Prosperity card, that you have the ability within you to have oh my goodness, it's just getting over the stumbling blocks. So you have the ability to have true prosperity within yourself as soon as you let go of the beliefs of trying to do what you think is the right thing to do, the normal thing to do, what everyone else would do, and really follow your heart and your intuition. So we're going to do an affirmation card now as well about what it is that can help you here on just working through your fear of stepping into a higher timeline for yourself. And that's really about lining up with your true desires. So what it is that you want to know is, I feel my heart's sacred wisdom supporting my soul unconditionally and restoring my being with deep and true love. I feel my heart's sacred wisdom supporting my soul unconditionally and restoring my being with deep and true love. So the message for you here really is about just going within and recognizing what it was that you used to feel was a great passion for you. Whether it was you felt as a child that you really enjoyed talking to others and showing others how to do things. Maybe you need to start your own YouTube channel. Maybe you need to do your own business on the side. Whatever it is that you thought about as a child that you really wanted to do that maybe you haven't come forward towards yet in your life, to really think about that and start to harness and meditate on what it is that you can do to bring about the changes in your life that will start to anchor the energies of hope and joy and freedom within your soul. Okay, group number 2. We're asking the question, how do I build greater self-love? And what I'm getting for you is there's really an opportunity, these cards are wild, to recognize in your life where you maybe know that things are stagnant and not moving forward, and to recognize where maybe you know you want things to be moving forward, but they're just not quite there yet, and to start to think about what it is that you truly desire there. And to focus less upon those things that maybe aren't working out for you, and to think about more what it is that you really want to change and to move forward and how you want to grow in the next few years is what I'm getting. So first we have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the World card. So, what this reading is showing us is a need to receive the messages from your soul, to really open yourself up to tapping into the things that you're being shown need to be healed. And the Eight of Pentacles energy is a need to heal or change our physical energies in intentional ways to allow for healing. But the Ace of Wands really is about forward movement. So in order to see forward movement, in order to see physical healing in your life, the Seven of Pentacles is showing us that there is a need to review the past and the things that are lowering your frequency and what it is that you're attracting in order to really see a completion in your cycle of learning. And the Eight of Cups is showing us that in the past, there was an opportunity to really acknowledge the love, that there's an opportunity to acknowledge that there was healing needed from a love of your past. And then we have the Tower card. Oh, this is the healing card. It looks like the Tower card to me. So this is the Star card, actually, and it is a healing energy around life that is working to find a greater peace and love. So where in the past was there a need to acknowledge love and to heal within you in order to find greater peace? And the Six of Cups is showing us that someone you have shared love with in the past is returning. So in the past, you may have walked away from this love, and there's still a need for healing and to find peace within that relationship. And so what you're likely seeing is that the past energies are coming back around. And the Six of Cups really is showing you an opportunity to share love. So in the past, you walked away from an opportunity to share love with someone to allow for a great healing. Both the Four of Swords and the Star card are great healing cards. And so it was a walking away from a great opportunity for healing, but it's showing us now that the opportunity is still there to heal those energies. And it's really telling us that in order for that to happen, we have to have strength. So as I said that, we got the Strength card. And it's a need to demonstrate strength of character in order to see those energies of new beginnings. And that's what the Fool card is about. You can see the kind of tarnished smiley face there, that in order to see the new beginning with the relationships of our past, that we need to have great strength and we need to welcome in the energies. And that is the Ace of Cups. And that is the blessings coming forward from your soul, from Source. And the Wheel of Fortune card is forward movement. So if you can have the strength to really allow the relationships from your past to be renewed in whatever way that needs to happen, you can find an end to a cycle of strife. And yeah, what you can see here when we look at the Five of Wands card is a crossed energy that needs to be resolved. It's promises that someone made you still needing to be fulfilled. And so these energies are showing us that in the past, there may have been a walking away from a relationship that you didn't feel was suited to you, but there's still healing that is needed within that relationship card. And that is what that Justice card is showing us. It's a need to review the past in order to make positive movements forward. Then we have the Knight of Wands. And that's kind of what that card is talking about too, is moving forward with a sense of passion and pursuit towards our goals. It's kind of angled, interesting here. Then we have the Magician card, and that is about awakening to consciousness and potential and harnessing the energy of the world into reality. So you can be the great magician of your life. It's really about having the courage to do so. And by recognizing that in the past, things were not going the way that you wanted. But in order for things to move forward in your life, to recognize that there may be a need to revisit those past relationships and to heal things within them that are still coming up for you in your life. And if you don't heal things with the person that it's needed, then they tend to show up in other relationships in other interesting ways. And it might start to show up if it was a love relationship, in your career, or with your friends. So the Three of Cups is showing us then, as I talk about that energy, it really is, and some people read it as a third party, and you can look at it that way. But it's really people coming together to heal energies. So sometimes it does mean that you weren't ready to walk through the healing with the person that it was needed with, but you were able to move on and do that in different ways with other people. All right. Then we have the Death card. So there will be an ending to a significant energy in your life in order for great change to occur. More major arcana. And then we have the Moon card, and that is fear. So it's showing us a need to let go of the fear around us. You can see in this card, there's a woman standing on top of a pile of rubble, and you can see the full moon kind of behind her, but there's definitely animals there coming up towards her, and those are the fear within that need to be released in order to have forward movement in our lives, to get unstuck, right? In order to move forward beyond what you have already achieved. That's what the Knight of Wands energy is really talking about. And in order to find your true abundance, in order to find your tribe of people, the people that you're willing to work through life and heal yourself with, to let go of the fear of really healing those energies in general. There may have been a great heartbreak that happened for you in your past, and that could be with a friend, it can be with a lover, it could be with a parent, a partner that's no longer with you even. And it's really just showing us that there's a great need to truly move forward in our life past those energies. This is actually the Chariot card. So you can see this person is wounded and beaten, but they are still moving forward in towards forward movement in their life. And it's really talking about how can we move forward the Knight of Cups energy in love? So how can we let go of the energies of strife within ourselves and towards others, and to really look at those energies in a renewed way? And that's kind of what the Ace of Swords is about. It's receiving positive truths and lessons from your past. How can you really learn the lessons? And it's really all about love. It's learning how to show love for yourself and how to show love for others. So how can you move forward in love? By moving forward, yes, by letting go of the crossed energies within you and of the heartbreak, by not hanging on to the heartbreak. Then we have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is a man who is willing to take positive actions and move things forward. So that is what you're being shown here, that in order to show greater love for yourself, you're really being asked to move things forward past where you've been. And the Eight of Swords card is really talking about moving past, not allowing the energies to flow freely. So we're talking about letting go of the stagnancy in your life so that you can see forward movement and healing. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So the root of your subconscious here is that you've done some work and you're working on balancing out the energies of yourself. You're working on balancing out just standing on a tippy toe, trying to avoid the danger below you, and really letting go of the energies within you that are not serving you any longer, to let energies flow in a positive direction in order for you to stand your ground and move past what it is that you've already achieved. So that was a lot of tarot, but it really is recognizing within yourself what you've done and what it is that you can do to move forward in a greater way, in understanding that things have happened that were not necessarily fun and joyful in your life, but in order to move forward, it is possible if you choose to, right? If you choose to let go of the energy being stuck and to choose to do the things that you need to do in order to start to move things forward in a greater way in your life. So tapping into things like this, and really starting to try and hear the messages for your soul and how it is that you are able to be guided at this time is a good way to start. But you also want to, think about your past, think about what it is that you're feeling, and then move forward into what it is that you really want to feel instead. How is it not dwelling on the past and what it is that has happened, but how it is that you feel about that and how it is that you can move forward past those energies. So to show yourself love, we have awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. Oh, they just wanted to remind me to move forward with boundaries. Stand your ground. That's the way that I look at the Nine of Wands card, is really moving forward beyond what you've already achieved by having strong boundaries and resolve within yourself. Then we have focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. So that's kind of what I was saying. Understand where you've been, but try to focus on what it is that you truly want. Then we have prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. So there's lots of ways you can do that. Mindfulness, meditation, and simply having strong intentions. The more that you do it from a meditative state, when you have sat quietly and tried to quiet your mind by releasing the resistance within you, then your intentions come through more clearly. So when you do that from a state of meditation, or when that's your intention through your state of meditation, is to ask for what it is that you truly desire, be that healing, a job promotion I'm getting for some of you, or just general forward movement and getting unstuck in your life. There may be things that you need a new car, that the one that you're driving isn't safe, or that that there's something wrong and you need to move forward in a new direction. Simply ask for that to be shown to you, how it is that you can move that forward in your life. Show yourself what it is that you can do every day to help bring in the blessings. Then we have transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. So those were the steps, right? First, set in a state of meditation, of trying to release the resistance within you. And then set your true intention for your meditation on what it is that you know you need help with in your life. Supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation. Trust. And it really is about letting go of all of the things that are holding you back in order for you to move into a greater timeline. And then we have the cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. So when it is that you can let go of the resistance that you have to forward movement, you can truly tap into your own inner wisdom and your own life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. So it's showing you that in order to have greater self-love, these are the things that you can do, right? You can focus your intention on what it is that you truly need. And I'm getting there's some of you out there that are looking for relationships. And when you set that intention, and when you go into a state of meditation as well and release your resistance to the relationships because of what has happened in your past, you allow your soul to help you move forward. And that's what the prayer and contemplation card is really all about. And when you allow yourself to really open up to the divine inspiration, you're facing your fear. Major spiritual challenges are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So when it is that you face the things that you know in your past, and you really focus on what it is that you truly desire, that's interesting, then you can truly start to move things forward. Okay, these are interesting cards because they're double-sided. Okay, they want the top card. All right, so we have Hiddenite. Do you have a lot of worrisome, repetitive thoughts? Have you noticed that you are extremely sensitive to the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and physical challenges of others? It's time to find mental peace and tranquility in your life. Take the time to meditate and relieve your mind of the incessant chatter. Observe life in a detached manner and focus on what is truly important. So kind of what I was saying earlier in a much simpler way, but focusing on what it is that you want and letting go of the worrisome thoughts is going to help you manifest the life that is that you truly desire. Right, they want one of these. So what is it that you can harness within yourself for affirmations to kind of help you move forward, to get the guiding light that you're asking for? And I'm getting that some of you also want transcendence from the careers that you're in. And all of that is possible if you simply set the intention. And it may not happen overnight, but it will happen over time. The more that you connect with yourself and are true on your intentions. And then we have the affirmation, I nurture my dreams along the spiraling creative path to higher fulfillment, nourished by hope and empowered by inspiration. So hopefully that helped you understand the true wisdom that you have within yourself is ready and waiting to be revealed to you because of your intention. So be clear about it. Be clear what it is. Recognize what it is that you don't like, and then set a preference, right? Instead of pushing against what it is that you don't desire, try saying instead, I prefer something different, right? When something happens that you don't have a strong passion for in your life, try to say, I recognize that and I prefer something better. I prefer something that doesn't create strife in my life. I prefer something that allows me to be in a state of happiness and not in a state of fear. So I leave you again with this affirmation. I nurture my dreams along the spiraling creative path to higher fulfillment, nourished by hope and empowered by inspiration. All right, pile number 3. So today we're asking the question, how do I build greater self-love? And we're really looking at how have you done this in the past and how can you bridge this even further? If you're already doing a lot of things that are in the essence of self-love, how can you go about this in even greater ways? And self-love really is about having positive intentions towards yourself. And also then when you do that, you can have more positive intentions towards others. So, all right. What I'm being shown here is there's a great deal of strife that you had in this life, but it allowed you to move forward and to really find a truly centered place within yourself, a place of wisdom and honor, because you took the time to really step out of the, I'm getting the limelight, or of the community that you'd been surrounding yourself with, in order to really start to heal from the energies of your past and to move forward. And to move forward past the heartbreak that had been shown to you in this life, in order to move past it, to move on from the relationships that were, that you maybe thought were loving, that you realized were not showing you the kind of love that you really wanted and that you were holding on to because you thought that these relationships were a divine union. And ultimately what you discovered is that was not the case, and that your past choices were not leading you down the path that you thought that they were. So you were recognizing relationships in your past that you thought were divine soul loving unions that ultimately resulted in you experiencing a realization that the choices that you made in the past were not in the highest alignment. But then we have the Son of Wands. So regardless of what has happened in the past, you can move past all of those energies by simply understanding that it is you who moves things forward. It is you that reveals the obstacles to yourself and breaks through the obstacles that are out there in the boundaries and all of the things that have been done to you in this dimension and others, to really understand the web that was woven around you and how it is that you can come into a greater sense of happiness is by letting those things go, letting go of the energies around you. And the Ten of Wands is actually showing us moving forward, moving forward with a lot of energy towards your goals. And it meant that you thought that you found happiness and you were moving forward, but it turns out that there was a great deal of strife that was out there, that was being penetrated into you, a great deal of things that were being done to you that were hurtful, but ultimately led to some energies of being stuck. But the good news is that we have the Ten of Pentacles. So what that means is you already have the power within you in order to move things forward. You didn't come onto an extreme spiritual path without having had some sort of spark in your life that led you down this journey. And this journey is really never at an end, but you will find a greater balance within yourself and a releasing of the energies within yourself that needed to be released from the past. So this reading is really showing you that there is a need to recognize that the fear that you experienced in the past is ready to be healed. All of those energies within your past are ready to be revealed and ready to be moved forward from. Those are the things that you've been working on and how you've really been moving yourself forward. And so where it is that that you'd been holding back was just because of the lies and the betrayal that you experienced in your life, be that from society, friends, parents, lovers, that what can you do to move forward from that and to find your true happiness? And then we have on track. So they wanted me to say that was kind of more of the past energies of what had happened, and that what was holding you back was the energies of the past and the loves that you thought were true that turned out not to be. But the reality is, when we say what can move me forward, that you're already on track for that. That the energies that are still up in the air are coming forward, right? And things are actually coming into fruition for you. You will have a choice. There we go. You will have a fated meeting. So when we talk about a choice, what we're talking about here is once you've gone through a deep spiritual healing and renewal within yourself, there are a lot of times that the energies from our past, the people from our past come back around. So what I'm getting is that you are on track. The things that you feel are up in the air are coming into fruition now. And there is a fated meeting that is coming up for you because of how you have aligned yourself. Then we have the Willow, and you can see that the energies of this card are quite bright, and that things are starting to fall free for you and to start flowing for you. Then we have the Five of Cups, and that's really about recognizing the positive opportunities in your life. Then we have the Buddha prepares, and it's really about ending things in your life that are no longer serving you. So that's the choice that you have to move things forward, how it is that you decide in your life. And it's up to you when these people from your past resurface for a final review of the energies, what it is that you truly want to have with them. Do you want to allow someone that you have had love with in the past to return? That's what the Six of Cups is about. It's totally up to you. It's up to you how it is that you want to move things forward in your life. But the main message here is that you are already on track. You have a choice. There is a fated return that you will see, and it is up to you how it is that you choose to move forward. And either way will be fine. It's simply a matter of how it is that you see your future going forward, and whether or not you choose to want to give the people in your life that maybe the first time around were not acting in their truth, whether or not you want to do that again. So I want to give some specific messages here, and this is about the energies of the ones that you left them for. So I'm getting that some of you left someone that was maybe not treating you the way that you wanted to be treated, and you thought that there may be another opportunity, and it turned out that that opportunity was kind of worse than the first one. And so that's okay. And when they come back to kind of talk about what it is that they've been going through, when this fated meeting returns, feel free to tell them about what happened in your own journey. And it's not the same, but it may be that things that you thought were turning out for the better weren't necessarily for the better. And it doesn't mean that the relationship that you were in was the one for you either, especially not at the time, but that the person that you went forward with, you ended up recognizing fairly quickly that they were not the one for you. And it's really about ending these cycles within you. So first breath, beginner's mind. And I'm getting that there are some of you that have been challenged by elders. This may be by your parents, your grandparents, by older people in your life and mentors about what it is that you truly wanted to do. And the advice is to move forward in your own way, and to know that when you are on a deep spiritual journey, not everyone is going to understand that. Most people won't. And it's really about going within and recognizing your own truth and not worrying about what other people think, and not even necessarily trying to change their mind, just recognizing where they are and being at peace with that, and not trying to change their path. If they aren't ready to, you pushing against them not being ready to is ultimately, we have the mini mask, the authentic self, not going to allow you to feel like you can be your true self. And I've definitely experienced this in my own awakening journey in my own life, that there are people that resonate with me and what I have to say. Being able to channel and being able to give messages and to understand energy and karma and forward movement and timelines is not something that everybody resonates with. Eventually, everyone will wake up in their own time. So recognize that within your life. But a way to show love for yourself is to let those people go on their own path. And if they are ready, they will come back in due time, and you'll be able to resonate with them on a different level. Then we have perfect storm, the courage to step into life. So that's really what I was talking about, right? When you go on a deep spiritual journey, it's likely because something in your life spurred that to happen. And not everyone has had that same experience. They're not all on the same journey, and they don't all have the same aptitude. They haven't had all of the same lessons and all the same experiences. So really understand that you may have had the perfect storm in your life to step into the life that you wanted, that you're starting to realize now this is all that you ever wanted, is truth and understanding, connectedness, and feeling at peace within yourself. We have the Father Gate, bold step forward. For you, if you're resonating with pile number 3, it really is about taking even more bold steps forward. Where can you push yourself even further? Where are you ready to hear the messages and follow your highest excitement to go and be and do wherever, whenever, and however you are called to go and be and do? And how can that be your method of helping yourself and others? We have Watchers, transpersonal. And how can you be watching out for others? If you've reached a point where you're resonating with pile number 3, then you're at the point where you can help others in a pretty profound way. So how can you look at in order to show more love for yourself, and it is really about positive intention, how can you start to do that in a deeper way towards showing love towards others as well? And then we have there we go, lost in space, needing direction. And that card is talking about not yourself, and you know that because you know that you're not lost, but how can you help others who are? So if you look at these cards together, how can you go forward and watch out for others who are in need of direction? So stepping forward and helping others who need help. And it means that talking to others who can hear you, right? And you know whether or not someone can hear you. You know whether or not when you start talking, they're ready for more information, or if you kind of reach the glass ceiling with them. And so understanding that you have a great wherewithal within yourself, that you've cultivated a great knowledge and understanding, and wherever that is for you, you may have gone to school for some of these things, and it may be things that you learned through courses, through your own work, because you wanted to understand how to be better, how to feel better, right? How to move your life forward in better ways. We have White Buffalo Calf Woman, the prophecy of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. So if you're resonating with this reading with pile number 3, it really is about how did you come into greater love for yourself, and how can you start to show that love for others. And you have to keep having your most highest intention to be towards yourself. Your most positive intentions have to be towards yourself, because when you do that, when you have cultivate care and love for yourself, then you're able to give to others. I'm able to give readings like this. I'm able to give healing sessions because I take the time to ensure that I care for myself. That when I need to sleep, I sleep. When I need to eat, I eat. When I need to make juice, I make juice. And I'm getting that some of you know that too, and they're kind of along the same wavelength, that you want to be in flow with your reality. You want to be in alignment with the reality that you've created for yourself. We have Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. So you recognize within yourself whatever is needed. That is the path of pile number 3, is recognizing what is needed within yourself and within others, and following your own internal compass towards helping and guiding yourself, towards being a cooperative component to your own lovely life and towards others. How can you do that for both at this point? We have Lolita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. How can you find humor in the things that you have happening? If you are on timeline number 3, if you are truly embracing your spiritual path, whatever that means for you, things are starting to show themselves to you in miraculous, wonderful, and very interesting ways. And you want to have a sense of humor about it, and still keep saying to yourself, what is this trying to show me? What can I learn from this in my life? And always keep that mentality about you. We have the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into greater capacity to love. And that is exactly what you have done, is transforming yourself into a greater capacity to love, a greater capacity to love yourself, to show care for yourself however it is needed, and to show care for others. The more positive intentions that you have towards yourself, the more energy you have to show positive intention towards others as well. Then we have Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. The message of this reading really is about wondering within yourself where to go next. And just know that you've already achieved amazing milestones within yourself. And the way to find self-love is to continue doing what you're doing. Remember the things, and if you tuned into my last reading of the full moon, that is what that was about. Remember the things that you used to do. Remember the things that brought you joy, that brought you peace, that brought you a sense of energetic relief within yourself, and how can you resurface those again. And if you've gotten this far, you already know some practices that were working for you, and there are ways that you can resurface those practices for yourself and start sharing them with others. And it's not about starting to do everything. I could list off every spiritual practice that I did over the course of the last 11 years, but you wouldn't be able to incorporate that, right, in your life in every way. It's about what can you do to make meaningful changes that you can stick to, that you know already are making changes in your life, and how can you inspire others and start to plant the seed of that for them so they can transform their life. And that would be Kali, the mother of the universe. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So by anchoring in some of those past wisdoms and energies within yourself, it's going back and clearing out more of the things that is no longer serving you, so that you can really anchor in the energies of your true self, which is your understanding of all of the essences of who you are in this life and every other, without the energies of pain and sorrow and bewilderment. To truly come into a sense of knowing who you are in the core of your soul, and being willing to express that freely, however, whenever, and wherever you are called to do it. Then we have Rabia, I think is how you say that, the Queen of Saintly Women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Isn't that a lovely card? Then we have at the bottom of the deck, Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. And if you're resonating with this reading, then that's likely how you feel at this point, that you have created your own journey for yourself. You have recognized ways that you have healed yourself. You've come into your own sense of truth, your own sense of power. And the way that you're being asked to show love here is, yes, by loving yourself, but also by stepping into truly feeling comfortable with your ability to share your message with others, and know that the people that are ready to hear your messages will find you, or you will find them in miraculous ways. And that is really what we're all here to do, to create together the energies of the earth that we really want. We have 777, 7 blessings of the 7th dimension, heal my soul, peace, potential, creativity, freedom, divine presence, healing, and truth. 7 blessings of the 7th dimension, heal my soul, peace, prosperity, creativity, freedom, divine presence, healing, and truth. I love that affirmation. And it's really embodying all of those energies, because it's one thing to start to learn about your healing journey and about spirituality. And the final processes of your ascension are to really embody all of those energies of truth, of love, of compassion, and towards being a cooperative component to your own lovely life and towards others in every way that you can. So the final message is to really understand your true self, is to anchor yourself in the energies of your past with an understanding of being an objective observer, observing what has happened in the past and understanding how far you have come on this amazing journey. Understanding where you were gives you a great understanding of how far you have come. I started out not feeling anything, and now I sense all of the energies around me when I walk into a room. And I know that if you're resonating with this reading, that you're starting to have similar things within yourself. So the message really is to go forth and continue to spread your wings and fly. Continue to be the phoenix rising from the ashes, and to turn into the angelic being of light that you truly are, and to anchor your light in every way that you can, and to have the intention to spread your light in every way possible to everyone that you encounter, planting as many seeds as you can in as many ways as you can, as often as you can, for as long as you are here. When we talk about true potential, that's really what we're talking about. What is the true potential that you have within yourself? And if you're resonating with pile number 3, the potential that you've already cultivated within yourself, the connection that you've cultivated within yourself is great. And it's time for you to go forth and share these messages now.